Absolutely correct. And because I have group homes, I have two group homes in the Alachua County area. So thank you for inviting me. I might not be very vocal because I'm driving, so I pay attention to the
Well,
road as well.
Absolutely. Yes, do
one of
that
the things that
first.
you can help with, Sophia, that is very helpful, is we're taking 30-second, minute video clips from consumers and those that love them about the program, both how it's either helped or what are some of the needs that are still need to be addressed, what are some of the
Right.
challenges, and we're using those to educate the legislators. So one of the things that you may consider doing is getting folks in the group home to communicate or have folks assist them with that communication to share their stories.
I definitely will do that. I definitely will do that. If I have a link or something to upload the videos, I will definitely do that before the weekend is out. But I do have an individual with me right now. Say hi, James. Say
Hey,
hi.
James.
What's happening?
He said, "What's
We're so
happening,
glad
James?"
you are all here. It is 3:06, so I'm
Yes.
gonna go ahead and kick us off. We do have a couple new names and faces, so I'd like to welcome you to We the People, by the People, for all the people. We are a family-led, family-driven advocacy group that is in the state of Florida. Our mission here is to make personal connections with our local legislators, inform them on what is going on in our lives by sharing our personal stories. And our hope is that we will affect positive legislative change by doing so. We meet on Zoom every single Friday throughout legislative session at 3 o'clock. So if you are around on Fridays at 3 o'clock, we would love to have you. And we do understand that every Friday at 3 o'clock is quite the commitment. So if you're not able to come on, we do record all of our meetings and put it on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/, for all the people Florida. I don't have any of my helpers to throw those links in the chat, so I'll do that later on. And we would love for you to participate in any way, shape, or form that you can. Our voices are so powerful. And my goodness, I don't know that I covered my intro enough. Oh, wait. One other way, touch point of communication is we do have a Facebook group page. It is for all the people. And I'll throw that link in there as well. But my goodness, we are fully in full force gear with our mission, and legislative session is coming up. So, for those of you who may not know, every single year our lawmakers come together up in Tallahassee and they spend 60 days passing new laws for the year. So, our goal in this group is to connect with them, get our give our stories so that they can then turn those into laws that will really help improve things. And we do have a lot of opportunities here right now. Oh, wait, hold on. So session starts March 4th and it's January some 9th. Someone help me out. 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th.
January 10th.
January 10th.
Okay.
So, what happens before the session actually starts are these things called legislative delegation meetings. Every county has a meeting where your local lawmakers are there available for you to come speak to them, share your stories, and then they take that information back to Tallahassee with them. So we have posted all the delegation meetings as events on our Facebook group. That way families can just see what's going on in your area, go to these meetings if possible. And the Arc of Florida has all the meetings posted on their website as well, a list of them. So if you just Google Arc Florida delegation, it'll come up. So those are the things happening. We have had, I think, Manatee County, Collier County, Lee County. Anybody else have any delegation meetings in their hood? Nope, Anna's got one. Where are you at?
Mine was today. I'm St. John's, but ours
St.
was
John.
today, and they didn't they didn't announce it to the county until 6 days before. 6 days before,
All
and
that.
also, by the way, the last day for you to call in was the day after New Year's. So I was the only person from my entire organization to get a speaking spot, which, of course, my executive director was like, "What?" CEO of the Arc of the St. John's, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know. So I was like, all right, well, as long as you bring up what I wanted to bring up, because I basically my ask is partially the same as last year, but I'm really pushing for CMS to be a full pay option under kid care for those families who are waiting in category 7 and are missing out on critical time for their pediatric children to have access to services they need. And we all know that when you don't have access early on, it becomes a more expensive problem for families, for the state, for everyone, but it becomes a crisis. And if you want to help families avoid crisis, well, let's help them never get there.
I
Well,
love
one of the
that.
challenges we're
I
running
love
into
that.
along
I
that
know.
line is
I saw your email, by the way. I just haven't had a chance to reach back out.
no problem. So when we're talking about a specific issue, this is not limited to just the Agency for Persons with Disabilities. There's a
Yeah.
collaboration and an interagency agreement that's supposed to be exercised, several of them. One of them is the
Yes.
transition from early steps to have a seamless transition, because one of the things that was very important was the recognition that private health insurance doesn't necessarily able to address the level of care that's necessary. The economic impact that occurs with families that drive them in poverty to maintain household eligibility. So one of the most critical parts of the original inception of the waiver was to waive the child's count the child as a family of one, so the family household income would not be a factor in denying access to Medicaid. That has not been
100%.
exercised now for
It's
years,
never
and
it's
I am
never
pushing
been.
hard. It
Yeah,
has.
and well, and so here's the other thing. It makes the assumption that early
Unfortunately,
steps.
I'm an OG that have been around for a long, long
Oh,
time
yeah, so your
and
experience is
was
way
part of
before
the
me.
original inception. And we brought
Did I lose you?
Yeah, we lost Tom. He is like I said, he
Yeah,
is
he's on Cumberland
this
Island. He's actually
beautiful island.
not far from me.
Oh, well, you
But
should go check this place out. I've only
right.
seen pictures. So, I'm
But the other
glad.
thing is
Mhm.
it makes the assumption though that early steps um is able to cover care, which I house early steps through we have a free charter preschool at the Ark of the St. John's that is a public charter preschool. It's absolutely 100% free. And we serve as the hub for the community, but we also house early steps. Early steps funding has been cut every single year. Even if we have families coming into early steps, typically they can't even receive services for exactly what they need. They may be given an ITDS, for example, but for them to receive occupational therapy, speech therapy, all these things they need, I mean, they're pretty much choosing one service. You're offered one service, and when you have a child with severe behaviors, what are you going to do with that? They don't offer ABA.
So you went to your delegation today and had a chance to spit your truth?
Well, I gave my time to my executive director so she could advocate along the lines of everything were asking for the delegation, because nobody else got time except me.
Well,
So
so that
we were in
that
packets. Everybody got packets.
that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Mhm.
A lot of the times these delegations are for everybody in the community. They're not necessary for people with disabilities. And I think I saw the Lee delegation. I went to peek into it and it was like 6
Hold
hours
on.
of people. It's a long time. And if you don't have notice, especially in our world, it's really difficult to get to these things. So this is a segue to the other thing I'm going to talk about, then we'll go back to delegations. Um, Last year, there were a lot of families that wanted to go to the Collier delegation, but just the obstacle of having to wait and having to sit and going through all of everybody else's topics before you have 1 to 2 minutes to speak, we really are in survival mode. So it wasn't worth a lot of families' time. And I have been meeting regularly with my local legislators on issues regarding families. And they had asked me, can you bring them here? So I said, well, I can if we have our own delegation. And I thought I was going to have to sell that, but I didn't. Senator Pasadomo loved it. And what we did this year is tacked it on the end of the Collier delegation. So our normal Collier delegation went from 9 to 2. And then at 2:30, I can't even like, I can't get there. It was so beautiful. We had one family after another come share their stories. And these were powerful ones. And it hit the map across ages, stages, disabilities, situations, needs, and really brought home the message that families we're here. We're right here where you live, and these are what we're walking through. I hosted this, so the legislators were like, so this is your thing, you just have to run with this. Which they've never done this before. I've certainly never done this before. And I was so nervous to like make sure everybody got to speak and that we were on time and all the things that I didn't really take it in. But my friend Jay, who's in our group, he video recorded it all. And I have been up since like, yeah, thanks, Jay. Thank you so much, Jay. I've been up since 7 nonstop editing these videos so that they have this like the written words to go with it. Um, I've posted what I've gotten done. I've only gotten like 11 of them done on our YouTube channel, and I'll have the rest of it. I would highly encourage, please go on our YouTube page and hear us, I mean, hear these stories, but also hear what our legislators said back to us, because it was overwhelmingly encouraging. Representative Mello was recently placed as the chair of Health Services Committee for the House.
Health and
And
Human Services.
Health and Human Services for the House. And I can't remember her verbiage, but it's on the videos. She said something like, it's going to get spicy. I'm going to hold these people accountable. We're going to have we're going to have a different version of events because families need help. We had, I mean, Senator Pat, everyone in that room was so incredibly moved by these stories. And the families, there's just, if you have not felt like your voice matters or whatever you're going through makes a difference, it really does. I have Nicole and Gabby on the line. Can you guys unmute and share just a little bit about the forum?
I'm so proud of you too.
So proud.
Wow. Thanks to you all. I mean, we were just the drop in the bucket, but without you guys, it wouldn't happen. And Stephanie was completely responsible for getting us together. So it was amazing. I mean, I don't think there was a dry eye in the place. I mean, all these stories were just would break your heart. And so yeah, I think it was really powerful and amazing. I can't believe it's never been done before. And Stephanie, wow. I mean, hats off. You are just unbelievable. You are a force to be reckoned with. And we're so lucky to have you to lead the charge, because you can get a million of us together, but without someone to pull it all together, it doesn't happen.
Well, I appreciate that very much. And I'm so glad that you guys are on the call, because Gabby has placed her application. These two girls are amazing. Gabby has placed her application under crisis. And if you guys have been a part of our group, that the whole entire reason we really exist is because my family was in crisis and it was unresponded by the APD for over a year. And so I went hard in the paint. I had never done the whole legislator thing, but I went wild because my biggest fear is that this terrible situation my family was going through wouldn't be the last one, and that this would continue to just go downhill. And so, with the delegation that we were talking to, we changed the law. We changed the law so that if someone's in crisis, that they would get their determination done within 15 days. Yeah, like woohoo! APD got a bunch of money to help them be able to do this. And lo and behold, Nicole shares with me a couple days before this form that it's been what, 80 something days since she's submitted. And whew, it was a powerful amount of those stories. And so we will continue to make sure not only that the legislature funds the what we need, the services, so that families are be able to be served, but also that the laws that are already implemented are held accountable. The agencies are held accountable. And this was a way to do it. There was a whole lot of like, yay, Stephanie, and you did great. And I shared this with Melissa. Oh, good, Melissa's on. I shared this with Melissa the other night is honestly, I really would love to do other things. Like this is the hardest, heaviest work in the world. And it's going to take all of us. I know that I'm one squeaky wheel, but the collective voice of families with developmental disabilities, the needs, they're just so powerful, and this is how we do it. We really need help. This, and I mean from families. And this is what I mean by this. If you can get to a delegation to share your story, go. Please go. If you cannot, which is very understandable, we are asking for families. And actually, Representative Betterock reminded me that this was her idea. The legislature is asking for families to send 30-second to 1-minute stories. What are you going through? What are the challenges you're having? And what can the state do to help? If we get all the families to take your phone out, make a selfie video. Hi, my name is, I live in X county. Me, the individual, or my kid, or my brother, or whoever the individual that you're advocating for. This is our story. This is what we're walking through. And this is what you can do to help. Those elements could make a huge difference. And we saw it happen. So while there are many delegation stories, and we're going to go into a couple after I talk about this, I want everyone who did go to a delegation, because I do see a few of you on here, to kind of share your experiences as well. But here's what happened after the meeting. So we had this beautiful form, and legislature said, we want to help. And then they all went on their social medias, and it was their delegation too. And all they could talk about was how inspired they were for our families and the resiliency that we have and their commitment to help us. And then I got an email from Representative Mello's legislative aide. Representative Mello is going to be having a meeting with Director Taylor Hatch on Monday. And she wants some spicy questions. She wants to know, what are the things that I should be asking our agency director to hold them accountable, to make sure that what we've put in place is being done, and what are they doing, and where are they spending their money? All of the things we know. Legislature, they're invested, they're involved. Last year we spent a lot of time just educating. What's a disability? Why are we here? Who are we? Do we exist? We definitely exist. And this year it's building, and that's the beauty of this movement, and that's the beauty of multiple voices. Melissa was at the forum, and a lot of the families that Melissa services were at the forum. And Melissa, if you want to go ahead and kind of talk about that, and then if you want to talk about the other delegations you attended, and then we'll kind of go round robin. And if anyone has questions, we'll hit that at the end.
Hey, I'm sorry that I'm late. I was actually on a call with Senator Davis's office and then Senator Harrell's office, talking about our big thing right now is the Medicaid unwinding and how many folks have been affected by that, and not just the clients, the families, the providers. It has been horrible. Just our agency alone, we've had we've had to hire 3 administrative support just to help with this. So that right there is the fire at this moment that needs to be extinguished. And Stephanie had just mentioned about Representative Mello's office reaching out to you. They also had reached out to me. They want some questions to be able to ask at committee. And that was also my phone calls that I just had now regarding, those upcoming committee meetings next week. So I am going to be going to Tallahassee next week. I am going to go to the committee meetings, and I'm not sure if I will have the opportunity to talk about it because I think that they're really just looking to hear from the agency heads next week. But if I do, I will certainly do that. But just elevating the issue, the Medicaid unwinding, helping our representatives understand the difference between, a general disability and a developmental disability, and the fact that the Agency for Persons with Disabilities only serves people with developmental disabilities. We have a special state agency just for developmental disabilities. And, and quality provider improvement, but really the Medicaid issue is huge right now. The forum down in Collier after the public delegation was extremely impactful. The families that got up there and spoke were, it was very heartfelt. It was, I know that I could tell just by watching the legislators how impacted they were. And then also the follow-up that I received afterwards from it has been very positive. And they want to help. The after that, yesterday was the Manatee County delegation. I spoke at that. I see that Paul Dutcher is on. He also got up there, and I read what he had written to that he wanted presented to the delegates. Oscar de Rojas, he's another father. He got up there and spoke about his situation with just the lack of providers in the area. And also another mom got up there, and her husband, Kelly Askerid, and really spoke about the Medicaid unwinding because her daughter was definitely very, affected by it. So they all did great jobs. It was very powerful testimony. And then also I was fortunate enough, I don't know if Hulda McKinnon is on the call here, but oh, actually, I do. I see your face. Hi, Hulda.
Hi,
So
Hulda.
Hulda came, and Nadia, and then Nadia came up to the podium with me, which was wonderful to have her up there. And
I see you
know
girls. I see you girls. You see them?
I see. Hi, Nadia. Yep, I see you back there. But yes, also the Pinellas County delegation, the Escambia County delegation. I think those were also both yesterday, and they also had that information that was presented to them as well. So it's definitely getting around, it's getting out there, but it still needs to continue. So if there is a delegation that's happening near you and you are able to go to speak, to your representatives, they need to hear it. And I don't know, was there something else that you wanted me to?
Melissa,
No,
while you're
that was really
grabbing thoughts,
good.
I'm getting ready to jump off. I've got another call, but one thing I think is really important about in screening, diagnosis, and treatment, that's why the Medicaid state plan pays for all the services for children except full respite and subordination. So this issue.
You're cutting out. And I think he's gone. So I can I can decipher his robot. So what Tom was talking about is there is a federal law called Early Periodic Screening, Diagnostic, and Treatment. And the intent of that is to make sure that when children are diagnosed, that they have continuity of quality care and that extends through their lifetime. The APD, if you're under the age of 21, covers your support coordination and respite services. And a lot of the therapies, the personal care, everything else falls within ACA. Um, so I had written a bill about enhancing our early periodic screening, diagnostic, and treatment services for our children, which is kind of touching on what Anna was talking about, to make sure that these children are able to get the early intervention supports right away and carry that through adulthood. Now, I'm hoping we have a sponsor with that bill in Representative Benarock, but that has not been filed yet, so we shall see. But the more families that echo those sentiments that, you know, if my kids, if Logan and Gavin didn't have to wait 6 years to get services when they were little, who knows what life could look like. And that is, that's kind of my heart behind this is
Yeah.
why are we doing all of this temporary fixing? Let's make this work for everyone for all the time. And
They told me my son would never walk or talk when he was 16 months old.
yep,
Um, he runs, he plays, he talks back all day long.
yep. There are
And that was because of early intervention.
mm-hmm. And that
That's
needs to be said too. Like that's the opposite side. Look what he's been able to do because of those supports.
because I had Medicaid, and that was
Mhm.
why I had access. Had I not had Medicaid, had I not known how to get in touch with early steps, which by the way, I didn't know until he was 2 years old. So I missed 2 whole years that he could have had early steps because in Maryland, where I come from, where I grew up, early steps cost money. You don't, you don't just get it, you have to pay for it. And here it was a free program that I didn't even know existed. Our pediatrician never said a word about it. And he had been in therapy with Brooks for years and they had never said a word about it. So we didn't have it till that last year.
So
But
here's what I would like to ask of you, Miss Anna, and this is kind of going to
sure.
ask to everyone else. I would love for you to take that phone out, shine your beautiful face, and take 30 seconds to 1 minute and talk about how important it is for children to get early intervention and what you were told and what is the reality and why. It's because you had
You know, I
access to.
give presentations on this all the time.
Then good. Then great. Then 30 seconds will be no issue. I need 30
Yeah.
seconds to 1 minute. And I'm asking so what I'm doing last year, what we did is we did these one pager like stories they were just like
Yeah.
a one pager. And this is the same version of that. So you send me your 30 seconds. I have this like incredible video software that takes out all the ums. It can even take 10 pounds off you if you so desire. It can do a lot of cool stuff. And it's with touches of buttons. You send that to me, I put it on a pretty format, and then this is going to be our campaign. We're going to start sending these videos as soon as we have enough to be able to send it to the legislators every single day. Then that will just double down on what we're already doing by going to the delegations, by meeting with our representatives in their offices, and just really amplify the message. It also really helps with the media. And we know
Yes.
that media has a big role in this. Last year, Patrick, what's Patrick's name? Patrick, this reporter guy from Fox 4. Help me, Melissa.
Yes.
Anyways, this reporter guy should have a Emmy or a Grammy or whatever they win in television world for what his news reporting on developmental disabilities last year. He did fabulous job.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, right? I like
Yeah. I
you-
have a question. I am looking for dental care. Do you know how can I get dental care?
dental care. That is a really good
Yeah.
thing to bring up. So dental care has been a live topic as well because as we all know, if you're an adult in the state of Florida, good luck with dental care and how messed up
Yeah,
is that? How messed up is that?
I
So,
am having to go to that. I haven't been able to get dental care since
yeah, I'm so
two
then that's wrong, Daniel. I'm sorry. You haven't been able to get dental care and Florida is perfectly capable of providing dental care for their for
I
our
know,
for our
I
people.
agree. I am fighting every day, and I cannot get it.
Uh,
What can we do?
what we can do and what I will do, Daniel, is I will talk to my representatives about about your fight for dental care and your
Okay,
story.
Yeah, the
And
agency has the money sitting there. They're still trying to find, there's still a lot of excuses on why it's not being utilized, but the money's sitting there for dental.
I know.
so
I
that's why
read.
we need to keep talking about it and share Daniel's what Daniel just shared. He fights every single day. He can't get any dental care. Daniel's story is a drop in a bucket, unfortunately. I
It's
I, I
ridiculous.
hear this a
It's,
lot.
it's ridiculous. I am 55 years old, and I'm having pain in my
Daniel, I'm gonna put my email in the chat here, and I'm wondering, would you mind sending me an email and we will get together on getting your story together so that we can share about dental because you bring up a
Okay.
very, very, very big and good point. And that is a conversation that is, I think the ARC has that on their platform. Um, there are a lot of families who are talking about this. So we just need to amplify the voice. Uh,
Okay.
and oh gosh, Daniel, there's just so much opportunity, and we finally have listening ears, right? So when I talk about these 30-second to 1 minute videos,
I-
I mean it. I need your help. I need you
Okay.
all to activate and do this. If you can't make it to a delegation, no one's gonna hold that against you. That's a lot of hoops.
Where are the medications? Where are they located at?
Oh, where are the delegations? Send me an email and we will I'll help you with that. I
Oh,
don't know. Send me an email and we'll talk about that.
okay.
I think I saw real that you're in Miami. So
Yeah.
your delegation actually happened in December. However,
Uh-huh.
the people that are at that delegation, they are still around and I have their contacts and I'll help you get in touch with them. I'll talk to my delegates as well because dental is not a that's not a this is not just a Daniel issue. There's
Okay.
so many people who need access to dental services and the teeth, they're connected to the heart, they're connected with the blood. It's disgusting. So
I
Yeah,
I'm so
I
sorry, but
know what you mean. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
I just put a link in the chat about where if you click on it, you'll see all the rest of the delegations that are scheduled. And also it was Craig Patrick who was the reporter. put that in there too.
Thank you. Craig Patrick, Craig Patrick, he's actually, I think we put him on our YouTube channel as well. But if you look up Craig Patrick Disabilities, the stories that he put together last year were um, fabulous. That was incredible journalism, and we need that to grow this, right? So what we do is we meet here and talk about our plan. And right now we're in delegation meeting season. If you can get to a delegation, get to a delegation. If you can't get to a delegation, send your story. That amount of effort has to take place for this to work. It will, no matter how great Melissa and I are, we're two people. And two people cannot influence for the state. We need families to come and share your stories. And even if you are like, hey, I don't know about me what that could matter, I would beg you to go on our YouTube channel and listen to the stories that the family shared at Call Your Delegation, and you'll find it. Listen to the video stories that have been submitted. We have had people submit their stories, and we're putting it on our YouTube channel. We're trying to get word out there. If you could like and comment on any of those videos, that will also amplify our presence out there in the web sphere. That's a funny word. Um, but the idea is the more we share, the more places we share, the different stories, the different needs really brings to attention that oh, Houston, we got a problem and we gotta help these people. And what happened in Collier was it was a mission fulfilled moment, because not only was all the families crying, so were the delegates, and so were their aides. One of the representatives' aides is a friend of mine, and she called me and she's like, "Okay, I know you've been talking about this for like 4 years, and I hear you, but now I feel you." And then she started bawling and she started talking about one example after another, and that it was heartbreaking and that she had no idea that this was such a problem and it was so debilitating, right? Like they don't know. And this is someone that I do life with. Like I would call Jamie up and be like, "Hey, what are you wearing tonight?" Like we know each other, but she doesn't have a person with a developmental disability in her life. And unless you see us, unless you hear us, it's impossible to know. So, um,
Stephanie, quick question. This is Fino. I just want to thank what you guys have been doing. And, we finally putting a light of what families really deal with on a daily basis. I've been part of APD for a very long time, and this is like incredible of what you guys are doing. My only question is, I know you guys, I know it's been really strong on the west side, let's say from Tampa down to Collier County and Naples and that area. But I think, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like on the east side of the state, from Jacksonville all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, this is not really going on as far as I know. How could we, or who could we find, or what could we do to find another Stephanie or another Melissa on the east side that I will try to, push and get along? Because it's great to let the people on the West Coast hear about it. Well, what about all the representatives on from Jacksonville all the way down? They're not hearing anything because this is not really happening. Or if it is happening, it's not happening as much or as strong as it is in your neck of the woods. So I think my goal for the next coming year is to really get this ball rolling on this side of from Orlando to the East Coast, Jacksonville, all the way down, and really focus on those delegations and really try to almost copy of what you guys are doing on the West Coast, because then, like you said, the more people, the more representative hear the problem, the more they're enticing of making a change, not
Well,
just not
we
just
I would love that.
yeah, well, we were in touch with most of them, almost all of them. We got an entire new set for that literally just took office. Okay, go inside, bud. They literally just took office for, at least for me, it's all new people. So we're just getting to know them again and getting their attention. In Jacksonville, we are in touch with multiple. They come to our events. They come. I even had a few of them that were hoping to come to Connecting the Dots that were planning on coming to the original date, and then the date got moved. It's hard to get people on a weekend or a day after a holiday. I did get Director Hatch to come, but there are some of us working. The big aspect, yes, buddy. Nope. In just a minute, go inside. Okay, I'll be right there. I'm sorry. A big part of our issue is that the people who are involved here all also work full time and all have kids, obviously, with disabilities. The majority of us who are here working in at least Northeast Florida, I'm at the Arc of the St. John's. The others that I work with, even those that are in Family Care Council, are at the Arc Jacksonville. We need families who are willing to help that don't that have a little bit of extra time, that aren't pulling 6 jobs all at once. So if you guys come across any of them and want to put them in touch with us, we do have people who already have stuff together.
My thoughts
Just need
exactly.
support.
My thoughts exactly. So I think Fino had to take a call. That is the purpose of this group.
yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We are a group that meets, and the only way for our message to get louder is that if we all put our hands in. I don't know. I know they exist, but I'm on this coast, so I don't know who's on the East Coast in the Miami area or Fort Lauderdale. That hasn't done this for 40 years. I know a lot of advocates that have raised their kids and were in the family care council. I'm looking at one right now, and have given their entire lives to this. But as far as this next generation of Hellraisers, we haven't found that group yet. However, the idea here is that we can be anywhere. We don't have to be in Collier. We don't have to be in Jacksonville. We don't have to be in Tampa, Orlando. We're the state of Florida. And what I did with Senator Pasadomo, I highly encourage everyone to do with their representatives because it wasn't a hard ask. It was super simple. Hey, lady, my families want to tell their stories, but it's very difficult for them to get to you. So I would like the opportunity for you to host or hold a space for families to be able to come to you. And that's it. That's all it takes. So wherever you live, that wasn't anything more than a 5-minute phone call. Anyone can do that at any age, at any stage. And if they say yes, I've now done it once and have a blueprint for you. It's not that hard. You just get a bunch of people to speak and let them see it. And the other thing that was really cool about the form, and I think this is something I really hope that next year we have a form in every county. But what was really cool is that our people were there. I don't bring Logan and Gavin around often because I'm one person. And it's hard to like do the thing and then be mom at the same time. But they were there. Gavin had an epic meltdown, and I had already planned this big thing. So I had to go pick him up and bring him with me. And then Logan had his personal care assistant with him, and he came, and a lot of the other families, Nicole and Gabby were there, and a lot of my friends brought their families. So the legislators were really, really able to see what we walk through. It wasn't a perfect moment in at some points in it, and that is the truth, right? Like we're not going to sit down in a government meeting and sit still. So the kind of liberating part about having the legislators come to us is that we were able to be us and feel free, and Therefore, everybody was seen and heard. Okay, so I feel like I've yammered on. I want to drive the point home, and then I'm going to open it up, and you don't have to raise your hand. Just speak, Sandy. But send 30 seconds to 1 minute. Hi, my name is. This is where I live. This is what my family is walking through, our challenges, our successes, whatever it is. And this is what I would like to see the state of Florida improve on. It's very simple. I have made a YouTube tutorial on it because I'm serious that I've seen this work. So I want families to send a video, just 30 seconds, please. All right, I'm done begging. And Sandy, hey, I haven't
Hi.
seen you.
I was
How
just
are
going
you?
to say to Fino, it sounds like he's down in the Miami-Dade area, but there are people on the East Coast, in Brevard County, and they're tied in with some of the people up in Jacksonville. Nicole Grabner is a very active person in our area. She arranged a candidate forum in September with the group I volunteer with. So we are working. We got to know when she asked to do a forum just for disabilities, but our delegation is coming up, so we're still going to go to that. But
Well,
there,
that's kind of cool because Nicole did the candidate form, which sparked my idea to do the delegate form. And they said no to you. Mine said yes. So now you guys can go back and be like, hey, the candidate form was awesome. They did this thing in Collier. It was awesome. Let's do it. Um, I, I just say I'm totally okay with no. And I consider no's like not right now. And then
Stephanie, this is Melody. Can I ask if anybody knows when Martin's going to be rescheduled because it canceled?
anybody know about Martin County?
I'll just
Melissa
have to reach out
looks
to
like
Gail
she's
Harrell's
got her thinking hat
office.
on and she's looking, she's doing the typing thing. So Melissa's looking
Thank
at
you.
her.
I'm driving.
Heather, did you go to a forum or to
My car broke down on the way to Indian River
oh
on the
no.
6th, on the 6th. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so
So,
sorry. Is your car back up?
yeah, I mean, and on the 16th, St. Lucie held theirs, but I was in Gainesville on a medical appointment with my individual. So, you know, I've
Yeah.
tried and I've tried sending people and people got sick or they went to the wrong address. I mean, it's like, why?
Well,
You just have to take a breath
it's
and
life. Yeah, it's
yep,
life.
yep,
And that's why, Miss Melody, a video talking about your car breaking down on
right.
the foundation would be awesome.
That's what
Um,
I'm going to get Sufi to do as well.
oh, good. And that's my next thing. My next thing going into this, and I think our last thing here is family care councils. So Melody is on family care council in her area. Anna's on family care council in her area. I'm with the family care council in my area. The state of Florida has 15 family care councils around the state, and it's a way for you to connect with local families in your area and advise the APD. It's an advisory council to the Agency of Persons with Disabilities. There has been a long history of breakdown with the family care councils getting appointments, and legislation has not been opened with the family care council since 2014. So I have been barking down everybody's door about appointments for 2 solid years now. And enough is enough. I have written a bill that is going to keep the intention of Family Care Council, which is to connect with one another, get education, support each other, advise the APD, and maybe a different way to do appointments. So I have spoken with Senate policy staff, and it looks like this is something that they're interested in. These family care councils, if we had family care councils, I'm not sure we would need a We the People. Well, we're going to stay right here. We're not going anywhere. But these family care councils are an amazing opportunity to connect with one another, learn. I go to a family care council meeting, and every single time I learn something new. And then the other thing is, we all know what it's like to be new and feel alone. And these family care councils give us, who have just a wee little bit more knowledge than somebody who's like first diagnosed, to love on them, support them, and show them where the resources are. And my hope, prayer, whatever, is not only do I want the legislators to hear us and collaborate with us, I want the agencies that serve us to adopt the same attitude. And that may take a little bit more time, but
Well, and one of the points that I think is missed too is we're not just here to report and assist APD. We report to the governor. And that was the initial intention, was that we give APD information, we provide them with what's working, what's not working. But we are supposed to report to the governor. That's where the governor appointed a process comes in, and that's why it's so important that if if we
no, we lost you. Your audio's out. Family, oh, and she's gone. Okay, well, family care councils are really important. We've got Elaine on here who's been involved with family care council pretty much since inception. And the really wonderful thing that I have heard from families that have been on family care council since inception is what it was like for families to be able to really truly collaborate with one another and advise the APD, not like whatever Anna was going down that trail. The idea is for us to help the agency understand how to better serve us. So I got 4 minutes, and I just want to put this over my mouth because I'm mouthy. So come off mute if you're new or haven't been around here for a while, and I love you very much, and you're blonde, and say hello.
Are you talking to me, Stephanie? Oh, you mean somebody else. Okay,
I'm
sorry.
talking about both of you, and I was gonna see who strikes us. Look at your squares next to each other. Say hello.
Me?
Oh, okay. Which
Hi.
one? You want to talk to Ellie or you want to talk to me?
I'll talk to whoever wants to talk. We got 4 minutes.
Okay, I just want to find out when the Broward delegation, if hasn't already met, I'd like to do that. I did send you my story last year or sometime. I sent you a story. I filled out your form on We the People, but I don't know if you got it or not.
We got it, and we are still gonna use the stories we had last year, but we want to build on that. So
Okay.
if I'm sure your story has changed a little since last year. Actually, I know it has because I've talked to you. Um,
Yeah,
so
I can have Jared do a video of us, a 30 second to 1 minute video. So we'll do that. But do you have any idea when the
yeah, let me look real quick.
she sent the link so I can open it, but I thought maybe you just might know.
I don't. I do all of this stuff, and then it goes right out my little brain because
Okay, I'm gonna contact Ari's support coordinator. I have a new one that seems to be pretty good. So, because he got a new QSI and a better score for more funding, which he needs. Certain things have changed, so things are going along. I'm very fortunate.
that is amazing. And you had to do a lot to get there.
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to help keep that way. You shouldn't have to, at this point in Ari's life, be worried every year or every determination period that he's going to lose his critical supports.
Right.
So
Right.
that would be awesome, actually. And I'm sorry it passed. It was January 7th. Here's the
Oh,
thing,
too
though.
bad.
Here's the thing, though. Not only are we going to be sending these stories during out session, I have kind of gotten slightly more organized than I did last year. Every year I'll get just a wee little bit better, and I've grouped our family stories into areas. And so I am going to be sending out, like, if you're in that Broward delegation area, I'll send that out to your delegation. Send the ones in Tampa or Orlando or Apopka or wherever you live.
I don't
That
know if
way
you had seen,
it's for the
Stephanie,
right
but
spot.
I didn't find that Martin County had been rescheduled yet. So I don't know who would ask that, but I couldn't find that it had been rescheduled yet.
I think
so.
that was Melody. Okay.
Well, I think she's gone.
I have a really couple quick questions. I was wondering, one is, are you organizing? I'm trying to figure out how to get a place to stay during Disability Week, during the legislative session, and if people are arranging that. And two, I went to the Connecting the Dots, and Director Hatch said that they were making recommendations for legislation on transition kids. I assume that means the GAP kids. And I'm really wanting to have some input on that, and I don't know how to go about and figure out who's writing that legislation.
My gut is that's an APD bill. So I don't know. But as far as arranging, what she's talking about is on March 11th is Developmental Disability Awareness Day in the Capitol, which is in Tallahassee. And last year we did arrange that. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I need somebody to step up and help me with that. I'm wearing too many hats this year and I don't know how to do it all. So Sandy, if you want to go to Developmental Disability Awareness Day with your peeps, let's talk and see. I need somebody else to take charge on that. I just can't.
had no idea. If somebody tells me what to do, I might be able to help. I just had no idea to go about it. I kind of looked for hotels. I'm like, I'd like to talk to somebody who's been and arranged it. So and then the autism day separate and is on a separate week this year. So
yeah, that sucks. Autism Awareness Day in the Capitol is March 20th. So it is difficult. Hotels up there book and they're pricey. So they book up. So I wish Margaret was on today. I will. Do you know who Margaret Hooper is with the DD Council, Sandy?
no.
Okay, I'll connect you with her because she goes up there or she lives there. I don't know, but she's done DD Day. The DD Council is hosting DD Day, so they would be the ones to connect with. And she gave us a bunch of tips last year on stays. I went on this year and I did Airbnb because I didn't know, I didn't know it was too late. But if this group wants to do that and that becomes we're gonna go, then we'll rally, we'll form a committee or whatever, and multiple people can help get us there. We can do it. We can pull it off. There just has to be a drive outside of me. You're on mute.
Yeah, just Margaret does live in Tallahassee, and where I stay up there, it's very close to the Capitol. It is clean, it's cheap, it's no frills, and the people who own it are on site. It's family owned. It's the Econo Lodge. That's where I stay. And it's very convenient having my car parked right outside of my room. It's that kind of a place. But it's, like I said, it's all redone. There's no carpet. The bathrooms are new. It's clean and it's cheap. And there's a fridge in the room. There's a microwave in there, a desk, a television. It's got everything that you could possibly need. So unless you need fancy. If you need fancy, it is not fancy. So
way to go, Melissa. So there you go, Econo Lodge. Okay, well, we're 3 minutes past the hour, and I know what it's like to take an hour of your life on Friday afternoon. So I want to thank you guys all for being here. We'll be here next week, same time, same place. Love for you to join us. Please send your stories. All right, have a good weekend, everyone.
Thanks, Stephanie. You're the best. Bye, everybody.
Love you, Gabby.